Hey, Chris Liepe here from the Recording Revolution with a fun game we can all play to help us hone in on our tone, on the very best tone that we can have as guitar players. Particularly as recording guitar players, this game is really fun because it can apply to all skill levels and really all genres, even though we're going to be working with kind of a blues rock genre in this lesson. So, if you're interested in improving your tone and you'd like a little bit of interaction, join me for this and more. So immediately after watching this video, click the link below and download the backing track that I just played over, that you just heard. And I'll leave instructions at the end of this video so that you know exactly how to play the game. Alright, how to develop great tone, your best tone. You've heard me say before on this channel that great tone is a combination between what's in the fingers and the mindset. It's not just gear. It's an understanding of the mindset behind the gear you choose to use and the type of touch, the type of consideration that you have when you're playing. So many guitar players miss great tone because they're too obsessed with just one of these aspects. Either they have gear acquisition syndrome or they are really focused on technique. They forget that the combination and the artistic creativity and emoting power that can happen when you combine the two, they don't ever get to experience that. So, this game that we're going to play involves two notes. It involves one musical context, although this can be done with any musical context. We're going to play this backing track, and I only get two notes to express with. But here's where it gets fun. I'm not just playing two notes clinically, like a scale. I'm not doing that. I can do whatever I want to these notes. I can play these notes whenever I want, however I want, with whatever tone combinations that I have, with however I want to use the volume pedal or the whammy bar or detuning strings, whatever, bends, anything. Anything is on the table. But I'm limiting myself to these two notes. Why am I limiting myself to only two notes? Well, I'm practicing something very important. The best music is usually made by embracing creative limitations. And we, in modern music world, have no limitations. We have any sound, any gear, any resource we could possibly want. This is a problem because we have so many things, we don't take the time to practice honing in on the value of just a couple things. This is going to totally transform your playing and your recording mindset. So we're going to embrace just two notes. Now, in the game, you can choose any two notes that you believe sound good. You just have to stick to those two notes and only those two notes while you're going through the track. I'm going to choose these two notes over this backing track, which is in the key of E. So I'm going to do just a little bit of analysis here. This is a B, so that's the fifth of E, a very strong interval. And this is the fourth. This is a G. So I've got the fourth and the fifth of E. That's the only two notes I'm going to allow myself to use. But I can do all sorts of cool things with them. Now you might be saying, you're not really going to spend much time on dialing in your tone? Isn't that what this is all about? Well, no, I just kind of threw something together. And let me show you really quick what I'm using. I'm just using Waves GTR. This is incredibly cheap, even on a discount. I'm using a stock overdrive amp. Everything's flat, except I have a little bit more presence. And I've got overdrive in front of the amp. And then I've got a little gate, just so that it's not competing with my speaking. Tiny bit of delay that's synced to the session, and a little bit of reverb. That's it. I really didn't overthink this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just play these two notes against the track, really boring like. I'm going to work on this pickup. That's more inspiring to me. Roll the tone knob off just a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to be that concerned about being inspired. Okay, well, it's really frustrating because I keep wanting to go, or I keep wanting to do stuff like that, to bow to the chord progression a little bit, to be something within the musical context that I can't be with those two notes. But that's actually part of the point. The fact that I'm annoyed right now is good. Now, I want to use everything else at my disposal, techniques that I've learned on the guitar, things on my guitar, volume and gain adjustments, stuff like that. And I have a better understanding now of where each of those two notes works over the chord progression. So I can intentionally create some dissonance. I can intentionally create some tension and release because I've gone over the track and I know, okay, well, that note where, the fifth works better here and the fourth works better here. It's going to get better as I keep going, but I need to be very disciplined in only using these two notes. Hope I don't blow it. Okay, now I'm going to let it run and I'm going to do all sorts of different things. What I did certainly was not perfect, but let's discuss a little bit of what happened. I was forced to focus on how I approached each note. It had to be different than the way I approached it in the previous phrase, otherwise I'd be boring myself. Some of that had to do with pick attack, had to do with vibrato, either from this hand or from this hand, had to do with how hard I was playing the note. Maybe it was the speed at which I went back and forth between each note. Maybe it was how I bent up to one note or bent down to a note. All these considerations that I had to apply to just these two notes. There were a lot of rhythmic things that I did. I only got two notes, but I can do anything I want rhythmically. And if I were to keep going with this, I could explore more and more. I bet I'd come up with some really neat creative things that I could do with these two notes that would actually be helping me improve my guitar technique. Or I'd come up with a riff for a song that then, when I'm allowed to use more than a few notes, I could expand upon. Embracing creative limitations like this and forcing yourself to practice this way is going to help you to develop your tone in ways you would never imagined. So, what's this game? Fill out the form below, and we'll send you this backing track. Make a YouTube video, an unlisted YouTube video if you want, no longer than 40 seconds of you doing this. Now, it doesn't have to be the first time you do it. You can spend some time with it and really develop what you're going to be doing with these two notes. Film yourself doing it and simply respond to that email with the link to your submission. In a future live event happening roughly 2 weeks from this video, 5 of you will be chosen at random and will play your submissions as part of this event that I'm hosting on the Recording Revolution about guitar recording. So we'll open up by evaluating the 5 people that were chosen at random for everybody that submitted. Then we'll go on to talking about all sorts of other ways that we can get better guitar recordings. Stay tuned to the channel for exactly when this event is happening. Download that track, make your submission. We'll see you soon.